Yes, I know. I think a lot of people are doing this. Never have I ever. At the beginning of November, not quite the beginning, middle of November, put a Christmas tree up. But what else is there to look forward to? It's 1 and it is the 18th of November. I've got to try and get into some kind of routine where I am vlogging regularly so that I can do weekly vlogs, because it's all a bit random and I haven't vlogged anything since the 11th of November. So I might have to do like another video on like making sourdough or something so that I can still upload weekly. So I'm just rendering my third vlog and I'll upload that later. I was going to try and do it every Tuesday, and then it was quite late last night and I thought, oh no, I haven't rendered my vlog. So I am about to go for a walk with my friend Rod. It's kind of lunchtime, and I did sort of stop working about 20-25 minutes ago to render my vlog, so I better go for a very quick walk. But I have got quite a lot done this morning, so that's cool. And also I will show you, in preparation for making some sourdough later, well, I will actually be baked tomorrow morning, I have fed my starter. So that's my main starter. I've cut my finger on something. And that is the one that I'm going to use for baking. And I might use that one for making some focaccia or something, because you're supposed to throw half of your main starter away or use half of it and then feed it. So that's what I've done. And now I'm going to change my shoes, ready for going out for a quick walk. I've been out for a walk and got back in time for a meeting. We went out for a walk for about an hour and it was really nice. And it's 4 o'clock now, so I'll show you how my sourdough starter is doing. So my main starter, I've got a plaster on my finger now, my main starter is very lively, and the other two that I'm going to make the bread and the focaccia with are a little bit slower on the uptake. And one of the reasons for that is I was finding that when I added my starter to the dough, the structure of it was collapsing quite quickly, and I read somewhere that if your starter is too acidic, it can do that, and the way to counter that is to actually add more flour. So it's a bit slower on the development side, but it'll get there. It is 6 o'clock now and the starters are doing really well. The main starter has peaked and started to drop, and the other two are steadily growing. So that one there is nearly doubled, and so is the other one, which started off at 300 millilitres and is almost at 600 now. So that's good. And I have also delivery of naked wine. Oh, there's a sandwich on the top there. And called toilet rolls. And I'm doing an auto lease on just white bread. I'm going to turn this around the other way, I can't do it this way. But I've noticed that the microphone goes really quiet when I turn the camera around. It's really bizarre. Hang on. Right, so I'll try and speak up. This is going to be a white loaf, and this one is a malted seed, and I'm doing an auto lease for 3 hours. And then I will mix in the starter, so it's been going for 2 hours, and then I'll mix in the starter, leave it for half an hour, and then mix in some salt, and then every 45 minutes do a stretch and fold, and then shape it after 3 stretches and folds, and put it in the fridge overnight and bake it first thing in the morning. Good. Good morning everyone. It is Thursday the 19th of November, Thursday already, and I forgot to vlog any more of making my sourdough. So last night we spent the evening watching another episode of The Crown, and then there's another little series that we're watching. I can't remember what it's called, but it's about children growing up. I will write it here. And it's also narrated by Olivia Colman, who plays the Queen. And anyway, every 45 minutes I stretched and folded my dough. There's plenty of videos on YouTube on how to do that, but I probably should do a separate video just of my sourdough making technique. Anyway, then this morning I shaped it and scored it and baked it, and here are the results. I think I had the oven a bit too high this morning. So this is the malt loaf, and you can see it's got a little bit singed, and this is the white one. So what we'll do now is we'll open it up and see what the crumb is like. And let's see what the malt one is like first of all. Right, which side shall I cut first? Oh, really solid. It's just the crust. Looking very nice. Yeah, I think that's got a very nice crumb. And just to keep a record of stuff, what I tend to do is display it on this nicer breadboard and then take a photograph of it. So I'll put it like that, and then it's going to look quite nice. And I'll open up the other bread. So there's very holy crumb. That's got a massive hole in it. Yeah, so this loaf is made with strong white bread flour, and that's probably why there's some bigger holes in it. It's not really ideal to have massive holes like that, but some people get very excited about sourdough having big holes in it. And this is a malted seeded bread dough mix, and they're both from Waitrose. So it's Waitrose Canadian very strong white bread flour, and Waitrose seeded malted bread flour with sunflower, pumpkin and millet seeds. There we go, all set up, ready for our photograph recording my sourdough. So this is part of my scheduling fun things in, and it's really fun making it, and it's very yummy eating it. I'm going to toast a couple of slices and have them with honey. Hello everybody, it's Friday the 20th of November, and I'm kind of feeling under pressure to do footage, but it is very therapeutic for me as well, so I'm gonna do a little stream of consciousness to the camera. And I said at the end of my vlog a couple of weeks ago that at the beginning of the vlog, it was like, yes, you know, I'm in a really good headspace. And then the last kind of clip was like, yeah, really struggling again. And I have kind of been struggling a bit since then. The other day I showed you me making some sourdough and that kind of thing. So I've just been carrying on with all the strategies that I know, booking in times to have fun things to do, and making sure I do journaling in the morning and doing a bit of fitness, and you know, just keeping on doing the right things to do. And I think the vlog before that I was talking about how my anxiety had actually galvanized me into making strategies for things, particularly around, you know, things at work, because I'm a team leader, therefore I've got to create the strategic plans, and I'm responsible for implementing them and so on. So because it is the end of our financial year, we've got a new strategy for the coming year, and I didn't really notice until today when I had a couple of meetings, sort of governance meetings, that has actually made a difference inside me. I'm looking at outcomes, what's got over the line, etc., but hadn't really thought about the internal change that kind of determination would make, and how people are starting to see me differently, because somebody said that I've got more of a spring in my step. So that's amazing. You know, you think it's just about the results and that sort of thing, but it's not. It's about your whole attitude and approach. If people have confidence in you, their whole approach to you is going to be different. So it's about having confidence in yourself, isn't it? I think I'm just processing this, so it is definitely a stream of consciousness. So yeah, that was an interesting one. And we're all in the same position in this lockdown situation over the whole world. Everything is different and everything is restricted, so lots of things are kind of going out the window in terms of what you would normally do, which is good, really. It's making everybody rethink things, so everybody's rethinking their approach to Christmas and putting up their Christmas decorations early and just having to think of new inventive ways of working around things. And I guess in terms of like where you feel you're at in life and life achievements, etc., it all comes into question, doesn't it? Which is a really good thing. One of the things that I hear people, a phrase that people use a lot, is society tells us this. And you think, I've never really thought of it like that. I've thought about the culture of different cultural groups in our country and the standards that there are. I think that's the way I've framed it, because it depends which part of society you're in, doesn't it? We're watching The Crown at the moment, and that's very evident that different stratas of society have different standards and different rules. And I think I've always been the kind of person that thinks, well, why? You know, and questioned it. So I've never really felt under the kind of standards of society or whichever cultural strata you're a part of. Although when I first started going to my coach, which is about 3 or 4 years ago now, and I was really trying to work out my direction in life and what I should be aiming for and setting goals, etc., she did say to me, oh, I'm hearing a lot of oughts, shoulds, have to, need to, what do you want to do? And so when I'm thinking about things, or if I'm writing things down in my journal, the minute I find myself about to write, I have to do this, I need to do this, I think, is it something that I think is important? In which case I probably do need to jot it down as something that's important to do or something like that. And I want to do the important things, but you know, make sure you're fulfilling your responsibilities, etc. But it does help thinking, is that important? So yeah, I'm just really rambling, aren't I? But yeah, it's Friday and I'm feeling quite positive. I think I always struggle on a Monday, and I try to weigh up whether I need to actually still do some work at the weekends or take a complete break. And sometimes doing a bit of work at the weekends helps, because then it's not such an adjustment on a Monday morning. But on the other hand, it's really important to take a break as well. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get up early and do some bits and pieces of work tomorrow and maybe Sunday morning. I think particularly because my role in particular involves a lot of strategic thinking, and so there's a lot of information has come in this afternoon that I could really use for my strategic plan, and I just really want to be up to speed with it. And I'm still ploughing on with this bit of development that I mentioned a few vlogs ago, where I took it on because I want to get my hand in, and I think that is good, but there's also the pressure of finishing that development work. But I think it is an important thing for me to have done, so that I'm also reviewing our process of doing that and scoping things, and really investigating where data is coming from and is it coming in through the right channels. Some people email data from one department to the other, and we're not really supposed to do that. So I've got to try and strategize for as little user intervention as possible. So that's what my team do, really, all the technology side of the technological controls within the finance department. So tonight I am going to cook spaghetti bolognese. That's the other thing, all the home responsibilities as well. But Darcy's been really helpful. She's the one that's instigated getting all the Christmas decorations up, and she did a big tidy up today, so the place is looking neat and tidy. I'm trying, I'm hoping that this board in the background here is not in focus. It's all my random notes about home organisation at the moment. The contents of that board changes from week to week, and this week it's me trying to create a strategy for organising the home. So, spaghetti bolognese. Speak to you later. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm in my favourite spot in my dad's garden. It's Saturday the 21st of November. I've swept up a few leaves. From this spot I can just sit and survey the whole garden. I'll turn the camera around and you can have a look. So I've swept up a few leaves over there, but I've got to rush back because I've got a few things to do at home. There's a persistent mole been digging up a little bit over there, so I've put that windmill back in, and I've got some mole repellent I can put in a watering can with some water and sprinkle that. It's not super cold, but it's not as warm as it was the other day when I was over here, and I've been like raking and wheeling the wheelbarrow back and forward, so I'm warmish. I think it's about 11 degrees or 12 degrees, so not too bad. And we're doing a lot of clearing up in our house as well, and I've got to go and do a tip run with Darcy in a minute. She's been quite helpful at getting us oldies to throw stuff out. And then a bit later on, either tonight or first thing tomorrow morning, we're going to go up to South East London and help with looking after our granddaughter tomorrow, so that'll be fun. Good morning everyone, it's Sunday the 22nd of November, it's 9:10. I have not had a chance to do anything like go out for a walk to get my head straight, and I feel like my weekend's been hijacked a bit. The problem is when you're really busy all the time with work, but you have got things in the house that you need to address, like bits of repair work and redecorating, you've got to fit that in at the weekends. So the weekend's been taken over by that. And also we're going to go and help Hilary with some childcare with our granddaughter. So that's fun, but it's also, you know, is taking up your time. So I want to give my time to that though as well, and to the getting repairs and decorating done in the house. But the self-care thing seems to get ditched a little bit, so I'm just feeling that and not quite sure how to process all the things going on in my head. I did quite a bit of journaling yesterday, and there were kind of 3 main things that were really kind of pressing in on me, and I can't remember what 2 of them were. Well, one of them was like a family thing, so I'm not going to go into that online. And the other one was just got a text from Hilary, so I'll have to have a look at that in a second. And the other one was to do with the rental property in Guildford, and that all the landlords that were with this lettings agent are in a WhatsApp group, and it's as if they don't really know what the process is, and it's turned into a ain't it awful group. And I don't have as much money at stake as some of them. Some of them had like, 10 or 12 properties. So I don't want to take on organising them. But after like 17 messages flitting back and forward yesterday, I just thought, right, I'm going to set this out, because they were just surmising different things about how to get the money. And I said, look, this is the process. When someone dies, if they're a sole trader or whatever, their bank account is frozen. It's frozen. And, it's as if they were thinking they've lost that money, that this lettings agent has spent it on something else. But he ran his business fine. He always paid us our rent. So theoretically, the deposits from the tenants and the rent is in his bank account, but it's frozen. So I don't know why they keep panicking that the money is not there, unless they know something I don't. So I just kind of set out what the process is, that the bank account is frozen. Somebody has to value the estate, probably because I'm so involved in this with my dad's estate that I understand what the process is. And then that has to be submitted to the probate office, and any inheritance tax that's due has to be paid. And then once they get the certificate of probate, or if there wasn't a will, it would be letters of administration, then they can distribute the estate. But in evaluating the estate, they also have to take into account the debt. So we have to inform whoever is valuing the estate that we're creditors, and the creditors have to be paid first before the estate is distributed to the next of kin or people nominated in the will, the benefactors of the will. So it's going to take about a year. So stop panicking, everyone. But maybe they're much more panicked because they've got a lot more money at stake. Maybe it's threatening their entire business and livelihood. But if they can evidence that that's what the situation is, they should be able to get help from some kind of agency or something. I don't know. Anyway, I don't want to get involved. I put that message up there and everybody's going, oh, thank you, that's really clear. Anyway, so I don't want to get drawn in. But you know, what should happen is somebody should put a spreadsheet together of us collectively as landlords, and then submit that to whoever's valuing the estate. I think the problem is that at the moment they don't know who that is, but you can also submit that to the probate office and say, I want to be notified whenever somebody applies. So yeah, just learn how to use Google, I think. That's the only reason I know any of these things, is I've Googled it. Right, I better answer Hilary's text. Good morning, everyone. We have had an extremely hectic weekend. I have not done my hair and makeup yet or put my contact lenses in. And our boiler is broken. So it's Monday morning, Monday the whatever it is, 23rd of November. And the house is 17 degrees. So we keep resetting the boiler, and we've had to turn the temperature that it tries to heat the radiators to down, because it's just on the blink. So we've got an engineer coming. Originally he was coming on the 8th of December, and I phoned up because when you book the appointment it says, do you have no hot water and no heating, which wasn't true at the time, but now, yeah, we can't use the hot water. And we keep having to reset the boiler just to get a little bit of temperature in the radiators. We've got a few electric fan heaters. Anyway, so I rebooked it, but even though I was saying we've got no hot water and no heating, except for some electric fan heaters, the earliest we could get is the 26th. So that's Thursday. So gotta survive till Thursday, and then the boiler man is coming. That's a bit better. Hair and makeup done, contact lenses in, and I'm getting logged on for work now. And my office is nice and cozy because I've heated it up with a couple of fan heaters. So I think I'm managing to get into a weekly pattern of vlogging. So I'm going to sign off here because I think I've got well over half an hour now. I have to edit it down a bit. And yeah, I just wanted to say how helpful I'm finding it. I am finding it very therapeutic, where I don't have a connection with people so much because of not going into the office. Reconnecting with my online community has been great, and I've been so encouraged by the lovely comments that you've left, saying how helpful you found things and how it's helped with your mental health. Oh, that's just, you know, such a bonus. So yeah, keep those comments coming. They're very encouraging, and let me know what sort of things have been helpful, and also carry on giving your tips for looking after your mental health, and any tips for coping with lockdown at all, or what fun things you're building in. So yeah, thanks again, and I'm going to sign off now, and I'll see you next week. Bye.